bhakti. That's the heart of this path, I think. And as such, I want to come back to it over and over.
Yeah, back to Bhakti.
We don't. Back to Bhakti.
That's what I was going to say. Come back to Bhakti.
We don't talk about it enough sometimes.
Yeah. So talk about it a little bit.
The falling in love. Remembering that the falling in love it's not something we force. It's not a task, but it's something we can steer our mind towards. And the more we do it, it gains its own momentum. It draws us in. It has its own life. And Divine Mother just becomes the center, the focus of that love. But then imperative to remember that she's becoming everything. And that when we have an emotion, when we look at another person, when we see the clouds in the sky, these are all things we can fall in love with. And the more we cultivate love, the more it just starts to permeate our lives.
So I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Because I really love this way. However, I know for me, especially lately, I've been struggling with some challenging emotions and feelings. So what about someone, who is in the midst of grief or anxiety or depression or anger? What's your suggestion for coming back to Bhakti? How would I do that just to cue my mind? And obviously I realize I'm not trying to get back into the huge way, but sometimes just a little foothold, but sometimes that feels impossible too.
Well, I feel like this Saturday we should talk about tough things.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But in the short run, usually we can always find something to love. So instead of thinking that I have to love that hard thing, because sometimes we're just not going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
We can think of love as Bhakti as something that we're cultivating in this base inside of us.
Okay.
And the more we cultivate it, the more it will automatically apply itself to the tougher things. So again, it's not something that we can force. But if we can find something to love that's easier to love.
Okay. Something that we genuinely can feel.
Yeah. And it could just be a little piece of chocolate that you're going to eat when you're not feeling good, but you're really grateful.
Sweater or a memory that you have. Sometimes I like to imagine, because this helps me out when I'm really struggling in a tough spot, is that love is always inside of me. The Bhakti is always there. It's like a river that runs through every single thing, and that all I have to do is, dip my dipper in. That because sometimes when I think about cultivating, the word cultivating can make me feel, I understand why we're using it, but it can sometimes, when I'm in a difficult place, make me feel as though I'm responsible, and if I don't make there be Bhakti, I won't have any. And so it helps me to think, no, there's this source that's endless, and it's okay if I'm not my best self right now. It's okay if I'm sad or I'm mad or I'm scared. That Bhakti is this golden light of energy that is always available to me, and I don't have to necessarily do anything to make there be more or less of it. It's infinite, and that I only need to reach for it and touch it. It's there. So I love the concept of picking a little thing, because that little thing is just touching it. It's realizing, there is a river there. Whether or not I feel like I can cultivate it, even though obviously we like to imagine that we're cultivating it and we need to practice that.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was just a little insight that I wanted to share that your words made me think of. Yeah. So just a reminder on this beautiful first day of the new year for those of us that are celebrating that. Of course, most of us go by the calendar. So anyway, that there is love, and it's always there, and practice it, cultivate it, and always reach out to other people too. Sometimes just holding someone's hand, just smiling at someone you love, just smiling. And, one other thing I really love is to just take my hand sometimes in the morning on my heart and my hara, and I just send myself a little love too, just warmth and golden light. So I think our wish for you is lots of bhakti, lots and lots of it.
Love to you all, friends.